Hey guys, I wanted to teach this original move. It's called Mohawk, and obviously you saw the two other versions where I'm pulling cards out of it, but I really do like just even the one-handed cut by itself. It's pretty unique. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I'm kind of assuming you have an understanding of some one-handed cuts. This move comes in a little bit more difficult than Kryptonite, so if you can do that, you should be well on your way to learning this move. But if not, it could be a fun challenge. I'm going to break off into a Charlier cut, and I'm going to take my index finger and hold a packet here while pushing up with my middle and ring fingers. Now I'm going to take my index finger and kind of come around a little bit more so that I can squish this packet against the base packet and I don't have to hold it anymore. It's just kind of pushing it all into the palm. So we're here, and now I just pull my index finger up, right? And we're gonna keep it so that it doesn't clear all the way, but just enough to keep this packet on top. Because now we're gonna take our thumb and we're gonna push it all the way and clear past the pinky. Don't let this corner touch there, but all the way till we're here. So without that packet, it looks like this. Like we're straddling kind of like the symbol position. All right, so we're right here. Now we just jam our thumb through this packet. You can either riffle through or you can just try to slide on through, whatever works best. Now you move your thumb over to this edge and you're gonna do a double grip with this thumb. So in one way, it's holding the scissor cut like position, but also it's holding this packet onto this ring finger. So it's forming tension between these two fingers right there. And this is only for a short period of time, just so that this pinky can clear this packet originally. So let me show you. So we're right here, and in order to get this packet to clear back again, we need to move the pinky again. So for a short period of time, we're just readjusting on that pinky, and then we can move out, right? So from here, there's that big motion. First, almost naturally, you're going to do the pinch on this packet, but first you're going to pinch, then you're going to like scissor cut this out, right? So bring your thumb this way against that index finger, and for this side, you're bringing your pinky and stabilizing with the ring finger, but you're bringing your pinky out so that it pivots off that middle finger. And boom, you have your Mohawk. Now you can see these three packets are in line. This is the only one that's kind of an oddball. So you're just reversing this grip, and as it stands up, you can see these packets just kind of want to collapse. So I'm letting go, and it's just all going to fall down, right? And here you can see if I were to just let this go, land like this. So as it's held here, I like to just take my thumb and real cool like grab it and rotate it around those fingers. It's like a reverse revolution cut. All right, so let's sum it up. So first we're breaking into Charlier, we're doing this split, we're holding on tight and bringing this up. Now we push this all the way around to the ring while clearing through the pinky. We're riffling through or jamming on through, doing a double grip here. We're pulling on both sides while pinching here. Boom. Now we bring this back, just reversing that motion only while bringing these down. Then we grab this with our thumb and rotate back. To add the second hand in, it's actually very easy. So I grab a packet off like this, these corners, the index corners, and then I bring all these three fingers all the way through. Now I grab a card with my middle and my index fingers, and I just drag it across the fingers, or wherever, honestly, you can just slide it across and it'll pivot out. And I also like to extend my hand out so you get even bigger reach. But yeah, that's all that's happening. And for closing it, you just roll back, you put your thumb where your pinky is at, and then you have a thumb to thumb packet right here. You extend that single card out, while placing this packet down, and then you just curl your fingers back in, and that's that. All right, so in practice, you're going to do the spin as you get into your straddle grip. Then you grab the card from the pinching packet, and as that's happening, you're setting up the rest of the move and slide down as everything expands, right? So I keep it very much against the back of my hand. And as everything's closing, you come back up, thumb to thumb, extend, bring back. And you should have pretty good timing on that. I think that's pretty good. And for the 2-card version, you're doing the same timing, but this time you're grabbing a card from the bottom of the pinch packet and the top. Now, when you're bringing it down, you extend your middle finger out first, pinch, and then you're going to technically pinch both this packet and have a card in between your index and your middle fingers. Then you want to bring this packet even further down than you usually would, because this card is replacing that space. So you bring it all the way down, and boom, then you do the pop. So now you got 3 going down in a line. Now when you're closing, you push this packet up with the 3 fingers below the spinny packet into the pinched packet. So now you can do that closer like normal, and then back to the original closer. You extend the fingers out and close. So that was Mohawk. If you need some advice, this is kind of that space for it. I know this extension is weird with the straddle grip. This ring finger helps a lot in pressing this packet down, and it's gonna kind of face towards the audience a bit. So then it's kind of like pivoted upwards, ignore that, but it's pivoted upwards compared to these packets, which are sideways, sideways. This one isn't as sideways as the rest of them. This one is almost flat upwards because it's pressing onto the fingers rather than holding like a normal straddle would. It's just more stable this way to me. It also pops a bit more. Also, when you do this pivot to the straddle grip, you want to make sure these fingers act as guardrails just in general, because when you're doing this slide as well, you're going to only contact it with your nail, and you can adjust for how far out you want to be. As long as these fingers are in the way, it shouldn't really like balance on it. It's more just centered on the index finger and being carried by these. And for the closer, you can really rely on this packet to be a guardrail for these to close properly. It forms like a wall, so you can just kind of let go of this pinch packet and it will kind of fall here. But naturally, you want to use a little bit of gravity to keep you this way. When you're doing the timing for this, I like to really emphasize the fact that all 3 fingers are showing through, because it gives you a little bit more time to do all of the setup, and you're also covering a lot of the setup. At least that's what I like, because it is a lot more surprising. So when you're doing this, it's gonna take more time, but see, you really like show that off, and then you can pop. You know what I mean? Don't like do it that fast, but like you can do a nice whoosh, you know? When you're grabbing the card, I like grabbing way on the edge. I think that helps a lot, because it's gonna allow you to pivot a lot further and around the packet. Like it's almost touching the packet from the other side. It's actually a very interesting grip. You might be able to like hit it or something. But yeah. So yeah, you can always ask me in the comments. I'm gonna try my best to get to that. The Discord would be an even better spot because I can actually look at your performances and tell you what's wrong with it. But it's gonna take a bit of practice. I think even for more advanced cardists, it's a very weird move. Not very normal. Like you don't really see these pinch grips a lot, and you don't really see a flat straddle grip like this. So it's gonna take some getting used to for pretty much everyone. All right, y'all, that was the move. I hope that was like easier to follow along with. Again, I'm not like so great with this yet, but if you give me some feedback in the comments, I'll definitely look at that. And I know the angle wasn't like doing too many favors for me or you, so I do apologize for that. I'm gonna work on this. The YouTube channel's coming back, all right? And yeah, that move is a few years old, so I'm like very used to it by now, but I do know when I was teaching it on Discord and stuff, a lot of people, like advanced cardists, were having a lot of trouble with it because they're not very used to the grips. So if you're learning this more at an intermediate stage, it's pretty cool. Like a lot of people aren't used to it yet. So you could be kind of on a different playing field than most cardists are. It's not that it's so unique, it's just different in grips, and I think that's always a cool challenge. I'm excited also to see what you guys do with it. I know there was a lot I was experimenting with as well when it came to doing the move, like this pinching area. A lot of people kind of like to like flick it out more and stuff, and you can kind of see how it's split. So there's a lot of play area. Like I used to do this way and then claw grip the packet so that I had an extra right here, you can see. Good lord. But you might get the gist. I don't know how well that came across on camera, but there's a lot you can do with it that I haven't even really discovered. Play around, see what you come up with. I'd love to see it. Also, the Discord and cards are all going to be in my bio. Those links, or some of the links, help support me. But even if you don't buy cards off of those websites, I do recommend just going to them and seeing what kind of cards they offer, so that way you get like a catalog, and you can even buy them off different sites. But also you can support me. All right, homies, keep the flourishing game up. I'll see you later.